Daily Bible Reading Plan and Reflection. Day 12, December 12th, 2024, at Blessed Sanctuary. Today's Bible passage, Luke chapter 5, verse 1 to 16. So it was, as the multitude pressed about him to hear the word of God, that he stood by the Lake of Gennesaret and saw two boats standing by the lake. But the fishermen had gone from them and were washing their nets. Then he got into one of the boats, which was Simon's, and asked him to put out a little from the land. And he sat down and taught the multitudes from the boat. When he had stopped speaking, he said to Simon, "Launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch." But Simon answered and said to him, "Master, we have toiled all night and caught nothing. Nevertheless, at your word I will let down the net." And when they had done this, they caught a great number of fish, and their net was breaking. So they signaled to their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both the boats, so that they began to sink. When Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." For he and all who were with him were astonished at the catch of fish which they had taken. And so also were James and John, the sons of Zebedee, who were partners with Simon. And Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid. From now on you will catch men." So when they had brought their boats to land, they forsook all and followed him. And it happened, when he was in a certain city, that behold, a man who was full of leprosy saw Jesus. And he fell on his face and implored him, saying, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Then he put out his hand and touched him, saying, "I am willing, be cleansed." Immediately the leprosy left him, and he charged him to tell no one. "But go and show yourself to the priest, and make an offering for your cleansing, as a testimony to them, just as Moses commanded." However, the report went around concerning him all the more, and great multitudes came together to hear, and to be healed by him of their infirmities. So he himself often withdrew into the wilderness and prayed. Reflection: Luke chapter 5, verses 1 to 16, recounts a powerful and transformative moment in Jesus' ministry. This passage begins with Jesus teaching by the Lake of Gennesaret, where he encounters Simon Peter and his fellow fishermen. Despite their initial skepticism, especially after a fruitless night of fishing, Jesus' instruction to cast their nets once more results in an overwhelming catch. This miraculous event leads Simon Peter to recognize Jesus' divine nature, prompting him to humbly acknowledge his own unworthiness. Jesus then calls Simon, James, and John to become fishers of men, indicating their new role in spreading the gospel. In verses 12 to 16, the narrative shifts to Jesus healing a man with leprosy. The man's faith in Jesus' ability to heal him is evident when he says, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus, moved by compassion, heals the man, instructing him to show himself to the priest as prescribed by the law of Moses. This Bible passage illustrates a few key themes. 1. Faith and obedience. Simon Peter's willingness to obey Jesus despite his initial doubt highlights the importance of faith and trust in God's guidance. Even when we are skeptical or feel disheartened by our own efforts, trusting in God can lead to extraordinary outcomes. 2. Divine calling. The call of the first disciples shows that Jesus seeks ordinary people to carry out his extraordinary mission. This reminds us that regardless of our backgrounds or perceived limitations, we are invited to play a vital role in God's plan. 3. Compassion and healing. Jesus' healing of the leper demonstrates his deep compassion and willingness to restore those who seek him. It encourages us to approach Jesus with our needs and to have faith in his power to heal and transform our lives. 4. Humility. Simon Peter's reaction to the miracle, a recognition of his own sinfulness and unworthiness, teaches us the value of humility. Acknowledging our flaws can open us up to God's grace and mercy. 5. Witnessing miracles. The profound impact of witnessing Jesus' miracles, both the abundance of fish and the healing of the leper, reminds us that God's works in our lives often serve as powerful testimonies to others. In reflecting on these verses, we are encouraged to deepen our faith, remain open to God's calling, and trust in his power to work miracles in our lives and the lives of those around us. We are also reminded of the importance of humility and compassion in our journey with Christ. Thank you for joining us today. May God bless and be with us all. as we meditate on the daily Bible readings, and may this Christmas season be a time of joy, peace, and reflection on the true meaning